Cool. And then I guess I'll send this to you. Whatever.
You can just upload it on yours if you want. It'll be easier.
Okay.
Then you gotta. Then it has to like change hands twice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't want to steal your views though.
Bro, I don't care about that. Steal them.
Okay. Cool.
Yoink those views, wrestler. Yoink them. You gotta have, as they say, you gotta have some a little bit of a cruelty bone in your body. I'm kidding, bro. So yeah, we've had a manipulation here. We were watching for this for a long time. Anybody that's been following me or Thor or Spartan, and I mean, I don't know what other people were looking at this, but I don't think many people were, influencer wise. Um, but yeah, I mean, we knew this was we knew there's a really strong likelihood that this top was going to be a significant top, right? We came into a significant area. We filled a fair value gap. There was a chance it could have went to 102K, and I knew that, right? I knew that. But overall, from a fractal based standpoint, this is spot on. You know, actually, let me where did my other chart go? Let's do something right quick. Let me go into by the way, I'm still sick, guys, so excuse my voice. And if I have to mute myself to cough, I will have to do so. Okay, I'm on Coinbase over here on the right. Doesn't really matter because we're only looking at a fractal anyway. I can just use I can use really anything here. I don't want to use something stupid though. Let me see what we have here. Let's use Binance for the left one. Okay, I'm gonna go back. So right now we're on the 2 hour. We'll go to the 2 hour on both charts. I'm gonna go way back in time here, probably daily, just so I can find my spot. Ooh, it doesn't go back that far? This doesn't look right.
That's weird.
Oh, it's upside down. Bro, it's upside down. Like, what? What? How can you even look at that and call that Bitcoin, bro? Like, what? Okay, okay. I see what TradingView has in store for this evening. Cool. Yeah, right back here actually is what I wanted to go to. So I'm just gonna do like a side by side here. I'll leave it a little bit ahead on the fractal. Oh no, they did not do that to me, man. It took me back on both. Ain't no way. I didn't know you couldn't do that. Okay, well, I guess you can't use bar replay if you do that. It's pretty dumb. That is pretty dumb. But give me a second, guys. Hold on. I gotta go like scrolling back like a maniac here. We'll find it. We'll find it. We'll find it. There we go. Should be right here. There we go. So basically, no, it's not identical, but I don't care about this part of it. Right? I only care about the range part. So the range part is here on the 2 hour. Actually, I might bump it up. Better not change the time frame. Might mess up on me. So basically, I've been comparing this for a long time, right? You guys probably are quite sick of it, but here's the thing. Is it working? Absolutely. Hell yeah, it's working. There are differences, obviously. We had a Model 2 here. We had a Model 1 here. The difference between this spike and this spike, time-based wise, is there's a huge gap between here and here, and there's not a big gap between here and here. You had same choppy price action, in general. What's this? Chop, chop. You did have again, there's differences. Like you had the spike here and you had the spike here. You now have the manipulation above the range high here. There's your manipulation above the range high here, right? And your overall structure is different too, right? Because like currently you had, overall market structure looking a little something like this, this, and then this, and we officially broke it tonight with the daily close here. Whereas back then, your structure was a little bit different, right? Because if you're drawing my version of market structure, the way that I told people how to use it, it's basically this, and then you would have internal legs up. And to be honest, guys, it was messy because you had this version of structure back then. You had this version of structure. I actually put more weight on this one back then. All this upward structure drawing, blah, blah, blah. So basically, where I think we are relative to this fractal, and you can't really tell on this time frame in particular, but I think because of where we retrace to overall within the range, I think we're kind of like somewhere's here. I think we're finding a stopping point more than likely with a fresh, solid shift not shit. I guess it could be both, technically, because of how things have played out. Um, Whereas if you were on a higher time frame back then, you would have had this drawing. You know, if you dissect that last leg, you're basically left with this, and it was straight up to here on like 4 6 hour. So this is a higher time frame break from left to right. Here's your higher time frame break left to right. Price came back into an important area of demand, just like we did back then, right? You had demand that was left down here. We had a 2 day order block that was left over here on the right. But now we're kind of just waiting to see, what the result's going to be. And I suspect chances are, I'm just going to say it because why not, right? But let's not sugarcoat anything here. Chances are we're probably going to see that rotation down to here, and more than likely 74K at the very least. I suspect a lot lower, but I think at least 74K. It doesn't mean it has to happen all at once. Um, and more locally speaking, I suspect these sort of formations to occur. Now, don't be surprised if you get another power of three like this, where structure actually does flip up, and you do get a bullish break, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, we're coming up to here again," just like they did right here. When the reality of the matter was a simple supply mitigation and a trap for longs, something like this. So you can bet your ass if I see a move back up towards 92K, I'm not looking along. Okay, I'm looking for that manipulation. Especially if a range forms prior to the break, where you have this very clear range-like structure, just like you did in this box down here. Very clear range. Right, I'll actually change the colors here a little bit. This is more of my higher time frame analysis. I mean, it's been picture perfect, and it's been a cheat code for the last 6 months, 5 months. So why not keep using it? All right, here's your manipulation, and here's your expansion down. Right, power of three. So if you see a range form, which is your first criteria of a power of three, you need a range, which you're probably going to get unless we get a flash cascade liquidation dump, which is also possible depending on what happens in the next couple of days. But if we do see that range criteria form, I suspect you'll see sweeps of the lows, you'll see sweeps of the highs. You see it break up again, it can't get past this supply zone, then you're not looking to here. Don't even think for a second it's going up to this high if you can't get past this supply zone. It's not going to happen, right? And I don't like sugarcoating things like a lot of other guys do in trading. I just tell people how it is, what to expect, and I've always been like that. Maybe it's not as popular to do so, but I don't care about popularity because I make a fortune trading. I don't need to sell things. You know what I'm saying? That's good enough for me. I'll tell you how it is because I'm going to tell you how I'm going to trade it. So I'm looking for exactly this, right? I'm looking for something very, very similar. Sideways consolidation inside of this 2 day demand zone. However, and this is where things could take a little bit of a shit and a shift. So if we were to lose 2 day demand, okay, let's zoom in again. If we lose it, and we don't just SFP it, but we actually start closing below it. Right now, I think we went halfway in. Yeah, we're halfway in. You start closing below that order block at 87K. I don't think you're going to get that same mitigation kind of effect where you come back to a breaker block here or 92K and do this. I don't think you're going to get that. I think it'll be more of a flash crash down towards this low. And the fractal doesn't have to repeat itself, right? The overall narrative is what you're looking at. We know this is the targeted low. 80K is a shitty low, right? There's nothing good about it. You didn't take it again. There's no accumulation there, right? So that being said, it's a targeted area. You lose your last notable demand zone, price is going to gravitate towards it. So this is a vertical zone for me. And maybe Spartan has another opinion. I don't know. I'll let him get to that in a minute. But for me, in a higher time frame perspective, I mean, all I see, if there is order blocks left in here, which there may be, or there's like I think a 10-minute block on the range low down here, which I know there is. Again, these are like possible bouncing points. Even maybe SFPing these lows here, if you do something like this, that could still bounce. But you start closing below this on a higher time frame scale, you're getting candle closes like this. Yeah, that ain't good. It's not really what you're after, you know what I mean? Not really what you're after. So I don't really have a bullish bone in my body overall on a higher time frame. I mean, you guys have seen my time-based scale on what I expect a bottom to be put in October 2026. I've been using that for years now. I don't see why I'm going to stop using it now until I'm proven until something proves to me not to use it, which I haven't seen any evidence of. In fact, it's been a one-to-one replica, basically, of the all-time high from the last bull run to what we're seeing here now. So until that breaks, I don't have a reason to think, long-term bullish or spot buying or all this other stuff. I don't want to buy a potential top. That's crazy to me. Now I'm going to go to a lower time frame. I'm on a different chart here, so let's actually go and look this up on the lower time frame. I'm going to clear all this now because it's kind of useless. I don't need to keep this macro TI in my chart when I'm trading lower time frames. I don't care about that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull volume, right? I'm going to pull volume from this low over here. I'll let Spartan get into the high volume stuff in his notes because I know, he loves his notes. But I would really like to see a false hold of that POC at 92K. I really like that idea. Kind of like close above it on a lower time frame, but not quite closing above it. And that'd be pretty cool. Kind of like this, right? Manipulate on it kind of thing, or even maybe close above it, distribute, and then lose it again. Something like that would be cool into this supply zone right here. I wouldn't mind that at all, which could be possibly a value area high rotation as well. Yeah. Could be a value area high rotation as well. We could just play within the value area a little bit, right? And I don't expect things to just like make a dump. I don't think it's going to happen. I could be wrong. I don't think it's going to happen. I think a consolidation makes more sense statistically, like it did back in 2022. But things can change, things can change very quickly, as we can very well see. I believe this move down. If we turn on the old VWAP, I don't know why I did that. Turn on our daily open, previous day low indicator. We're getting a little bit of a move up here. All right, let's take a look at vectors here as well. See what they look like. I think the whole move down was one. Yeah. The entire move down was a vector. So this could be the beginning stages of a range low, right? I think there's a good chance based on these like semi-equal lows here. There's a good chance that we have possibly the beginning stages of a range low forming. Let's see. There was a little bit of an open interest divergence there as well, actually. Yeah, that was actually a good long. Right here. You can see selling pressure. Now, I kind of use it like CVD. If you don't want to use that, you don't have to. Yes, it works. Only if you're using the aggregated OI indicator, though, of course. If you're using any other one, it won't give you the same result. So yeah, there's definitely, a div, a very, very clear div between here and here. So like for me, I would have longed this. I would have put my stop here if I was paying attention. I'd already be at, my stop loss would be at break even right now. But I didn't notice it because I wasn't trading. I already took a lot of trades today, so I wasn't supposed to be. But I made some decent money today, so I'm happy with it. Anyway, what I would watch for now is obviously a range high formation, right? So if we get a range high formation where we very clearly start to reject inside of demand, then I will look for a back test off that range high. So if I see something like this, forearm structure's lost, it could be anywhere. Like it doesn't have to stop here. Maybe we squeeze all these shorts here. I don't know. Right? The range could be thousands of dollars in size, guys. Last time you took out all these stops, I think you took out maybe even some of these stops. I don't know, but it was a big range. And then you start to pull back, right? So don't expect it to be like, a small little range like this. It doesn't have to be, it could be a big range. All right. So yeah, for as of right now, I'm kind of watching for back test longs, I'll be honest. I'm not shorting down here. The only way that I'm looking to short is if we have a very clear structure flip and back test, like I said, anywhere, and that's going to be my range low forming, my range high forming. Until I have very clear structural failure, then I'm not looking for that. Like a quick little 1 minute flip in structure is not going to cut it. A 1 minute structure flip to me is, I'm starting to look at this. I'm drawing that same structure in to see when it back tests bullishly. I'll probably cover the daily open on a stop, and then I'll ride it up and de-risk it very quickly. By the time we touch the next high, I'm already at de-risk level, right? I don't play games in these environments. I de-risk very aggressively. Stop to break even, TP1 to cover fees. You know how it is. This pump, this pump could be very easily recovered right here. We might come right back on this pump here because there's quite the imbalance that's left here. So I wouldn't be shocked at all to see, if we can't quite get any higher here and pull back, maybe accumulate a little bit and then up. We'll see. Apart from that, as far as like key areas go in the market, obviously I'm watching the previous day low as a main POI for a long because I know that we are in demand. So if we see a sweep of this low, and I'm not targeting, an outrageous target, guys. I might look maybe something like that. Even that may be a little bit outrageous, perhaps a little bit less, perhaps around these highs right here, right? I think if you recover this vector, right, because it is a big sell candle, and yes, people shorted into that. I think we'll probably squeeze a little higher than just here, but I could be mistaken. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. Maybe we just come into here, right? Because we have an order block that's very clear that was left behind with inducement. And it's not just any inducement, it's trend line inducement. Also, I want to point out on this move right here, the reason why I was so aggressive to TP, if you may have seen my screenshot on my channel, I took a long from here basically, and I closed a bunch of it out on each one of these highs and near these highs. And I think I had like, like a nothing left. I thought I closed the whole trade. I had like 1% left that got stopped over here, I think it was. But the reason why I closed is because of this. I could see an insanely ridiculous looking divergence. Where was that at again? Maybe I'm on the wrong place. Sorry. Was it 2 minute range? No. Where did that go? Where did that go? Oh yeah, there it is. I was blind. Listen, I got sick brain, so you got to bear with me. But yeah, you can very well see, look at that massive increase in open interest here on this move up. And clearly price is unable to close above, making a model one distribution internally. Look, 1, 2, 3. Another big warning shot fired is these candles right here. Look at them all, right? You don't really want these when you're like, I hate those when I'm in a long. Unless it's farther away from my entry, I don't want to see price pulling away with these, right? Especially green or red vectors. Ugh, not a big fan of that, right? Not unless it's a massive one where I think it's not going to get recovered like this guy right away. Um, if I was long from right here, I wouldn't be very nice. I wouldn't like the idea of these vectors right here. They scare me because usually that means you're going to get a back test. Not always, but usually you do. And fill that inefficiency, and then you go off, right? So you got to keep that in mind, obviously, when you're scalping on these lower time frames. That you should absolutely keep track of that stuff. Um, maybe we don't get that back test here, but of course, I'm looking for that long if we do come back towards that open. Maybe something like that. Target up towards the same high. Here's two long ideas. As far as shorts go, again, I'm kind of waiting to see where that range high tops out, but as a premature level, I will gladly draw this in. Here's your previous day VWAP area. Or actually, no, it's not. Is that previous day VWAP?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is previous day. Okay, it messed me up because it looked like it snapped twice between here and here. So it screwed me up a little bit, but yeah, okay, we're good. Yeah.
It's just
Listen,
so
I'm
far
not
away. That's why.
so far away, bro. It messed me up big time. Well, I wasn't sure because I thought the dump happened like before. Yeah, it did happen before the daily open, so I wasn't sure if that spiked it down. So it's kind of screwed me up there, but that's okay. So as far as shorts go, obviously I'm looking at notable supply. Like, what do I have left above? Well, I know all the late shorts got involved here, here, and here, and definitely here. These guys are already underwater. Anybody that's shorted here is already toast. Um, and I know that these guys could be pushed underwater as well to the point where maybe it just stops them out and then, goes back down again. So obviously this is a no-brainer zone for me because you have trend line inducement on that zone. You can see the trend line inducement between all these highs here. There's liquidity remaining. And if we don't reject from that spot, which I will be looking for a trade just like that, but if we don't reject from that spot, again, this is where I'm going to start looking for that bigger range formation. At that point, I'll be watching the POC of the range, not so much supply per se, not really supplied in terms of an actual order block. It doesn't have to be an order block. I'm looking at the point of control of the range, and actually there is something there though. Right on, according to Bybit now, if you're looking at BTC USDT, you may have different figures, okay? Fair game. Either way, it's still a notable area for me. So according to BTC USD, we do have a POC here. To be honest, even if we didn't, I don't really care. I'm still looking at wick supply here because I have inducement on that wick supply right here. So is it kind of just extra confluence? Yeah, I don't really care. I'm looking at it anyway. So this is my next zone, right? So I'm looking at these two areas of price. Now it looks a little funny because I'm on a higher time frame here on the 30, so these positions can be like extended a little bit. Now this head cold that I have is the worst one I think I've had in years, by the way, bro. The worst. Like I think it's worse than COVID. I don't. It might be like COVID. It's like COVID on steroids, man. It's bad. So apart from that, obviously, if we start reclaiming this range, we could have an actual decent push up, but I don't think that's very likely. As of right now, I don't think it's very likely that we reclaim this range right here. If we do, we left behind supply, sure. But at that point, I'll be honest, guys, like, I mean, sure, you could reject into this order block if it came that high up, but that would kind of break the fractal a little bit, deviate from the fractal. And we might even SFP this high again if we come that high. So I'm not really too concerned at the moment with this range up here yet. Okay, not yet. Um, I mean, at that point, like I said, you're above the value area high again. So if you start closing above it aggressively, we might see a full on rotation up at that point. I don't even think I'll be thinking shorts anymore. So if I change my mind, I'll post about that. But as of right now, that's not really it's not really what I'm thinking. So these are kind of my main areas of price that I'm watching. I don't have like it's not gonna be a long stream, guys, because I'm still sick as a dog. Okay, I just want to pop on there to give you guys a little bit of insight to see, maybe Spartan had some insight that he wanted to share. I think, to be honest, after bigger moves like this anyway, you're better off waiting for the market to chill, Bitcoin, chill, take your time, create a range, let that range form, and then look for involvement, right? Okay, now I think I have a range high, I have a range low. Oh, look at this. We could rim see this structure down towards the range low again, or wait for a deviation of the low and then wait for a deviation of the high. You don't have to get horny and get into a trade every 2 seconds, is what I'm saying, right? You don't need to trade every single move, every little scalp, right? That's how you get burned and blow up accounts very quickly. It's the truth, really, it's the truth. But yeah, so this is what I'm watching as of now, these four ideas. And I guess as an alternative, I would say that the only other thing that I think I would consider, I'm not really a big fan of it. So I'm going to tell you right now, it's kind of dangerous because I do want it to consolidate, actually. I'm hoping it's a consolidation range for a few days. I'd rather that than just like straight dumpage because that's how we make our money, right? We scalp high to low, high to low, so on and so forth. So I think I'm going to say that, obviously if you start losing the structure here and then, back testing this range low and you close down here bearishly again, you can just look for a continuation short, but you have to keep in mind, now again, I got a value area low here. You could check to see if yours is the same on your chart, but if not, wherever it is, you want to keep track of that. Absolutely. Look for high volume nodes as well, and look at SFP points like I talked about on this chart here. If you start SFPing these lows, it could give a massive reaction and take you in a split second on a short, right? If you get something like this. So just be reasonable. I'm not saying a swing short, after a massive move down, you need to swing shorter from here. The swing shorts were here, right? That's the thing. Like swing short territory is gone unless we get another good lower high. This is not the area that I'd normally look for a swing short from. Not a chance. Scalp in, scalp out. That's all I'm thinking for the next few days is scalp, scalp, scalp. We'll talk swings if we get into a swing area. Unfortunately, this didn't produce itself in the same way that I was hoping it would. So I didn't get into that mega swing short that I was looking for at the very, very top. It is what it is. I'm in a short from like 92K. I'm happy with that one. Whatever. I'll add to it or I'll take a brand new one if we get that lower high kind of play. Something else that I was thinking of earlier as well, which could correspond with it. And I'm not a pattern trader. Okay, I'm not, but I'm looking at it, in terms of max paying kind of thing. You could also look at it maybe that we get kind of like something like that where we SFP come up extended range kind of thing and then down again because people will be trading this breakdown here if we get a similar looking pattern. What's that called? A Quasimodo or head and shoulders?
Quasimodo.
It,
Yeah.
yeah, it is lining up to look like one though. It is. It really is. It definitely is looking like one so far, and you would draw it like that. So we'll see if we get it. I'm going to give this stage over to Spartan Wrestler 119. Show my man some support.
I will
Send some big corn.
Two
No, I'm
seconds.
kidding.
I'll put my address if you guys want to send me Bitcoin. I want a new smoker. I want a new smoker, man. That's what I want.
Is this a new smoker?
Yeah, man. I want like a $20,000 smoker. Did you like glitch out?
No, bro. Sorry, I was.
Oh.
Wait. Oh, I forgot that I can't. Yeah, I'm telling you, I got sick brain right now, bro. I'm like all messed up, man.
I'm essentially sick brain because freaking I had testing today. I had testing today at school, so like I had 40 kids in my class, in my testing class, and like the way it works is they can't turn it in before an hour and a half, but if they could use the whole school day to finish the test. Well, 39 kids finished the test in about 2 hours, and then there was one kid who didn't finish for I think 4.5, 5 hours. So it's kind of sucks, but whatever. All right. So White
Yeah,
Phoenix.
4 hours.
What happened?
You had to supervise that shit the whole
Yeah.
time.
Near the end, like after the lunch periods, we moved them rooms to like the special needs guy because it's a small little classroom, and he ended up finishing it up, which was kind of cool. Yeah. All right. So pretty much, guys, what I'm looking at now, we did. Cause I told you guys my plan, and I'll show you guys what I was looking at earlier today. All right. So this was something that I was fancying a lot earlier today, but I made a post in the channel showing this in the regular TA channel, showing, hey, this is our bullish hopium. We come here, purge out these lows, get back above it, retest, then we can move higher. But one thing that I said immediately after I posted that was we just got a bearish retest on that node. So we did get our purge, but when we came up, we never broke back above it. It was a to the dollar freaking touch, and you actually had a second shot to get in as it was going down. So, guys, in highly bearish, and I saw this the whole way down from 126 down to about 111, where Bitcoin gets in the mood and these things hit. Once you break them, if you're in a bearish trend, once you break them, look for the retest short that. You can usually make it down to the next node. All right. So this was something, and this is something that we mentioned. Remember, whenever I show setups in our streams in the channel, I'm always showing you this one or this one. And I'll do that to every level because those are really the two things that can happen. Like, we mess around and we say it's going up or down. But at the end of the day, those are really the two options. And a lot of the times when you get around these nodes, you're either going to purge, backtest bullishly, or purge, bearishly, backtest, continue moving down. And like these trades would have been very, very good trades going through. The main reason I liked this node so much and I wanted to see a bullish follow through or bullish retest was because we had this little area of demand within here, which I thought was pretty solid. We did get a bounce from there, but definitely not the big bounce. But also we had the POC of the range. Now, I think that there's a good opportunity because I personally don't think like we could move up right now, but I have a feeling that before we come back up to 90.2, we're probably going to tag out this node. We're probably going to tag this out. We're going to fill
What do you
this
have?
in.
Levels at? 80 what?
Say that again.
What level? What level is that on?
87.5 or actually 80, yeah, 87.5 ish. But the thing is, it's like I don't think it's gonna be a to the dollar. And honestly, my game plan now is us coming under here, because we've mentioned this, you got equal lows, you got liquidity under here. I don't think this is going to be a to the dollar tap. I really don't think this is going to be a to the dollar tap where we just come in, tap it up, and then come up here. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. I think when we come, we're purging these. And and honestly, this is kind of my bias at this point. I think once we purge these, we will get a little relief. We'll probably fill this imbalance here. We probably will get a relief, come back up, retest it, and then I'm looking at the lows or the next node down here and then the lows. So if we lose 87.5, I expect us to purge out the lows to the left starting from December 22nd, that whole holiday lows, all of that little liquidity curve, retest 87.5, and then our next spot is taking out some of these lows. And honestly, I think once we get it kind of around here, it might be smooth sailing to take out this low. All right, but the thing is, with trading, you can't get a hard on for one specific idea. You got to understand. Like I said, if this would have been the only idea earlier today that I was looking at, this move coming here, I would have just kept long in this like an idiot. But you clearly saw we have a strong bearish push down. All right? So, what would you expect? You'd expect a bearish retest. All right. Yeah, we had that hopium. We had that hopium. Mainly, the main reason why I was even looking at a bullish scenario was, again, you can't have a set bias, or else when the evidence is slapping you in the face, you're going to ignore it because you're biased. And two, we were in an ugly ass uptrend. This was the ugly ass uptrend we were. So the reason I'm looking for a possible bounce here is for a higher low. But once we broke underneath this and retested this, I definitely thought like it was kind of GG's. At that point, I was just getting notifications. I think I posted in the TA chat at around 9ish, like maybe a little bit. Actually, no, way earlier, 7. It was before testing. So right around here. This is where I was posting like, hey, we got a bearish retest. We came down and then we popped back up. I was already in testing at this time. This was at 9:30. I think I hit the chat right around here as this push moved down. I didn't expect this to come back up and tag that. I really didn't. But, if you would have traded it, you definitely could have had a very decent trade, depending if you wanted to be more conservative, more biased. You could have, crap, sorry. You could have come in here, short position up there. We'll do it like this just because you could have even put your stop over that high and then had your, what's it called, down at the low. Let me try switch this off so I can actually see what the RR is. So you have your short at the node. Why do I keep pressing long? Hey, I forgot how to use trading view. You have your short at the node coming down here straight down to the other node. That would have been almost a 3R trade. Me personally, I wouldn't have liked having my stop loss up $400, $386. That wouldn't really be what I was trying to do.
Not
I
that
would
bad though. It's not stop
it,
loss though. I mean,
it's
for a
it's
bigger.
it's not horrible. I've seen worse, but for the most part, I like to see, I would like something personally like this. It's hard to say it now just because I didn't trade this. I didn't trade this at all. So unfortunately, I missed out. The tap into this was at 6 in the morning, and the second tap was at 8. But looking at it now, I would have probably kept my stop right over this node. Um, and just gone from there. But you could have definitely, because you go from a 7, almost an 8R trade. If you cover that stop, um, it's gonna be what, almost 3R. The thing I don't like about this is if we're going this high, in my opinion, if we go up this high, we're probably gonna come. I don't think we do this and then dump off. You know what I mean? Like I think that if we get above this and retest it, I think we're filling this imbalance here. So there's kind of a reason why I probably would have kept this tighter. Now unfortunately you didn't get a retest, but on this node you didn't get a retest there. But that's always up for that could happen. That definitely could happen. 90.1. There's two things, like I said at the beginning. I can see us just kind of rolling over here, then kind of coming up, filling this, then getting whacked back down, or which I don't know because these highs here I'm not really a fan of. I definitely think that this could be the move down. I'm a little torn. Like it's kind of guessing which happens first. Right now, in my opinion, I'm not really looking for a trade. I missed the move. I missed the short today. Um, yeah, I missed the short. I just got to regroup. Like maybe if something screams at me, but right now we're in the middle of a low volume node. So this is a good area to range. This is a good area to range. This could possibly be our range, possibly moving forward. I don't know. I'm not here with a crystal ball, but I definitely think we could see some time spent maybe up until end of tomorrow, Thursday, maybe even up to Friday before we actually make a move out of this range. So as in this point in time, man, like I'm looking for shorts around 90.1 ish area. If those fail, I'll be looking for shorts up around 91.4. To be honest, though, if we come up that high, I think we do fill this imbalance that's up here. That's just my opinion. If we do make it that high, I'm not really betting the farm on us making it that high. I think there's too much juicy stuff to take out here. Um, but to have the bullish case of a this is the low, we did bounce into volume. I personally don't like taking the edges of the volume node personally because I don't know. The POC tends to get hit. Like honestly, whenever I do this, when it hits the edge and it gets a good bounce, we end up sweeping that, tagging the POC, and then moving up. So yeah, sure, we could move up from here, but I do think we're gonna get slapped down. I really do. But I still judge this as an overall imbalance right here. You do have like an imbalanceception in here and an imbalance within an imbalance. So we could definitely pop back up to 91.3. But at this point in time, I think our target is these lows, personally. You know, I'm having a real hard time convincing myself that this all stays intact, or this stays intact. That's just, I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong, and all we're gonna have to do is sit back and watch. But I'll just be looking for plays off the nodes. Higher time frame wise, that's really it. That this profile matches very similar to the overall profile because remember this was from the last stream. I am only taking this price action here, pretty much what's in this volume profile. This one here is the entire range. So looking at these nodes, we have nine. They all line up around the same exact spots. So and this is where this 84.2 comes from. This big old node here. So I don't know, man. I definitely would like to see this
Big old
swept.
node. I
Huh?
hear. I heard big old node.
We were talking about you, bro. We were talking about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but what I wanted to comment on very quickly was actually the when you said a few minutes, I was waiting to say, obviously I didn't want to interrupt, but you had mentioned that like you thought that like, oh, maybe chances are we won't come all the way back up there, but it could happen. Yeah, I think if we go that high, like 92K plus, I think it just might squeeze. But I don't know, man. Like, why would they bring? See, I ask when I'm in situations like this, we're in your multi-month long range. I always ask myself,
when you take the lows, like, or at least local internal lows, so many times, bro, and there's been like days upon days, weeks upon weeks of the market makers being able, like the bigger market roll participants were able to get into the position, bro. Like we've been at this friggin' price level for like 50 days or more. They could have bought these lows how many times now? Come on. More. Yeah, almost 60 days. 60 days. Like why bring the boat back again? Do you know what I mean? Like you got to start thinking logically at that point. Why bring the boat back again, right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't. I mean, sure it can happen, but like come on, man. Like, how many chances? Like, look at all, like great examples right there. Like, what's the point of just SFPing that low and then and then 100K? It just doesn't make sense.
Doesn't.
SFP the
It's
main low and then 100K. Sure, I'm game for that, but like that doesn't really make sense to me. Maybe they do it. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that's gonna happen. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you
that's
can't.
why I don't swing trade, bro.
It's
Exactly why I don't swing trade. I got no patience for it.
it's tough. It's tough, but it's cool when it does work out and you're just sitting on fat profits. Yeah, I know you could probably make way more scalping, but depending on your risk
Way more.
tolerance, like it's probably less stressful to swing trade.
I made 21% since last night, bro, and I'm sick.
That's wild, bro. I've made 0% since last night. I'm a broke boy. I haven't done.
Obviously,
I
that's on a
didn't.
reset account balance, though. That's not on like my main balance. Like it's reset, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't like I always just take it to a certain number and then I take it back down to a certain number. But like, yeah, I hit 21% in
You
four
know,
trades.
it's
So
just crazy because like Daniel from Chart Champions said this a long time ago, man. He's like, "Show me the chart and I'll tell you the news." You know what I mean? Like this
yeah, yeah,
range
yeah.
is happening right before one of the hugest like tariff announcements. You know what I mean? We got
When is that now? Isn't that like
I don't I
they always delay that
he
shit.
keeps threatening it. He keeps threatening and the market still flinches. Because this is a big deal. He's talking about taking over an entire country. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
Freaking bringing McDonald's over to freaking Greenland, you know? But like, dude, like why is this bear flag happening right before huge news is about to come out? So one or two things are going to happen. This bear flag is kind of predicting or being a leading indicator like, hey, the news is going to be bad. The market's already selling into the possibility of it, or they're about to screw everybody who's going short here, and he's gonna. What do they say? Taco Trump always chickens out. Like he's gonna be like, no, we're not gonna tariff him, and then all of a sudden, we
Yeah,
go up.
yeah.
You know
You
what I
never
mean?
know, man, with him. That's the thing. He has like huge sway on the market movements apparently. So
He does, and you know what, man? He freaking runs one of the biggest economies in the world. He is the leader of one of the biggest economies in the world. I would definitely expect for his words when he's talking about crazy stuff like that to move markets. You know, because if he's talking about stopping trade with a certain amount of countries from Europe, or he's going to tariff the hell out of them, dude, the markets are going to be fearful of that. They're going to be like, wait a minute, so it's going to cost how much to order my parts from this country and this country and this country? Like, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's going to be interesting, but that would be the most hilarious thing to watch this bear flag pump. That would be so funny. And I've given you guys many reasons why I think 105 is a good possibility if we do squeeze. Obviously, right now, I'm not getting in a trade at these levels expecting 105 to hit. That is not, I'm not even expecting 96 to hit again. You know what I mean? Like, my longs are going to be very short lived. But, looking up, we do still have some imbalance here. But this is a very well traded freaking volume
It
profile.
is.
Let's be
Yeah.
real. Like, yeah, I always talk about the bell curve and all that, but it's never gonna be perfect, man. Real data doesn't look like a perfectly like bell curve. This looks pretty bell curvy. It's pretty evenly distributed. The highs and the lows are both like I think this is ready to pop soon. Where it's gonna pop to,
Oh, it is. It's going to pop one way or another. Yeah.
I definitely think we're getting at that point where something's gonna happen, whether it be 74 or 126. Like those, and I know that's a horrible. I know you guys are here for signals and stuff, but and then that's a horrible. Yeah, we're going up to all time high or break the last low, you know. But that's the real possibility of where we're at right now. The biggest thing I can say is, guys, keep a look at the volume. All right, understand where we're at, because you can see these areas turn into areas where we range at in between these nodes. We end up finding ranges, whether it be huge ranges like multi-day or even a couple days, where we just kind of bounce and then pop out one way or another. um I don't like how we slice through this. I don't. But again, I told you guys from, I think, Sunday stream and Friday stream, this imbalance, I'm taking the whole imbalance. So yes, I don't like how we went through this. We did get a temporary bounce on like the 15-minute, 20-minute, or the 10-minute time frame, but it was we sliced through it initially on the daily. But yeah, man. I'm just I just want this to hit. Come on. Just give me that. Knock these out. Knock these out. I think this would be a good trade. Honestly, and my plan for this trade is probably the safe plan for me is if we take these, don't take a trade till we get back above. And I know that's super far away. I know that's like $600, maybe even $1,000, but I would rather sit on my hands, wait for a proper retest of this, and then start targeting the center of the low volume node and then these nodes up here, you know?
Okay,
So
so what you have is your POC. Where's that? That's
POC,
a breaker. Well, you got a breaker block right there, don't you?
we're at 91.
We're at 91. Yeah, the body of that daily candle. Hey, go to the 3-day right quick
Do I
when you're
want,
done there.
you want me to get all 3D in this? Three
Do, do,
dimensional.
do, do. Yeah, I see it. So if you take the body of that black candle to your, okay, 1, 2, yeah, that guy. Okay, wait, your candles are backwards. That keeps messing me up, bro. But
White,
take the body of it anyway.
this one?
No, the little one, the doji. The doji. No, no, no. The one in the center of your nodes. Not the wick. Screw the wick. Just take the body. There you go. Yeah. That's where I would look for a rejection right there if we come up.
That would be solid, bro.
That looks better than what I had, actually.
That looks solid. And the cool thing is, if you look at this, look where it's dipping into, you know?
Yeah.
Like
I figured
that
double.
could be cool, man. That could be cool. 91,
Yeah, I like those body breaker blocks. They work very well.
91.3, and I think that clears out. What does that clear out? Uh yeah, but look at all this already. You know, so do we have supply within here? Did we I think it's already mitigated, no? This supply here.
Yeah, you're right.
We do have
Might not make it that high.
I don't know, but I do like the idea. The 3 day definitely. It's crazy how much you see when you zoom out, right? And you freaking change up the time frames. I don't know. That wouldn't be bad. But right now, guys, it's level to level. You know, level to level. And I would be cautious. Say we get over this node. Say we do get over 91 or 90.1. Say that happens. I'm not taking a long as soon as we break this, because look what literally comes up here. We could purge this node and then clear this imbalance, damn magnet, and clear this imbalance. And this is a 3 hour imbalance. Let me see if it's on the one right there. Nah, one's not good. Two's not
You really
good.
got the 69-minute time frame, bro. You're such a degen.
What'd you say?
You got the 69-minute time frame.
That's valid, bro.
You're crazy,
I
bro.
tried the 420, but that's just 7 hours. They won't let you put 420 minutes. I've tried it though. But yeah, man, like I would look for, if we come up in here, a pop down and then a move up. So I would definitely like to see a retest of this, and I would trade this level to level. But my bias is for us to come up here and get smacked down. I definitely do think we got to retest here, But who's to say that we don't come back up for that second retest into that breaker that WP was just talking about and then moving down? I definitely think this is the Quasimodo. I think his ugly ass is back,
It
and
looks like it, man. It looks like it could easily form one, bro. But
it
now the
does.
question is, like, are they gonna let it play out? Well, then again, this whole I forgot about that. This whole range, by the way, was a rising wedge. This
It
whole
was.
range.
It was. It was, man.
Yeah, it is. It is one. It definitely is one. Yeah, we're starting to. It's there's deviations from it, but you get my point.
Nah, but it's still. That's how Carl would
Yeah,
draw it, right? Something like
something
that.
like that. Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, this whole range was a rising wedge. I would say it deviated to high,
Oh, I
manipulated
like
above
that.
it.
I like that,
Yep,
bro. Because then
it's like a
you,
pattern PO3 and a regular PO3.
yeah. That's why, you know what, man? Patterns have validity, bro. Like, I know we talk crap about pattern traders and all that, but they're there. They're literally what a whole bunch of people are
One of my
working, you know?
one of my good friends is a pattern trader. He uses market structure and patterns, and he has an 88% win rate, and he takes about 10 scalps a day.
That's pretty insane. Me
Yeah.
personally, yeah, it's a rising wedge, but I also have like a little asymmetrical triangle. So, based upon what I've learned about symmetrical triangles, and I know this is kind of pushing it, but what I've learned about it, it takes the liquidity from the top and then it goes and takes the liquidity from the bottom. That's when you eventually see what the definite move is. This is a FU pattern, you know. But I like the rising wedge a lot. That makes more sense. But I see a
Yeah,
lot
but
of these.
that trend line that you just threw in on the top, right? Could go back, like press Control Z twice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So something like that. If you can connect the dots, that could actually co-align with that high volume node as a bounce point. People might see that as a bounce point, right?
Maybe, possibly. Tory Trades would definitely love to see this. Like,
You can SFP into it. Yeah, let
yeah.
them hold it there for the next like shoulder kind of thing.
Yeah, but usually, and that's the thing I try to tell you guys, like, or tell most people is, and I'm gonna get into my artistic mode real quick, is that when you have imbalances, this is where you see triangles form. And then you see a rec, and then it
That looks like,
continues.
bro, can I just say something?
Yeah.
It totally looks like a person with their mouth open. It looks like lips opening to me. Okay.
No, like that? Is that what
You
you
see
mean?
that though, right?
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Looks like freaking Fry from
Dude almost said autistic instead of artistic.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
I know, man.
I
Yeah, you
didn't
did.
say that. I don't know. I say that to the kids at school and they hate me. Dude, all right, story time. One of the funniest things happened today. So, and this let me just finish up my TA and then I will definitely get into that. That's actually all I have, but I like I said when you see these
Show us your lips,
imbalances,
bro. Show us your lips. Come on. What do
what
you finished half the story?
no, 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 I will, I will. It's pretty funny. Well, I found it funny and I died laughing, but when you see these imbalances, this is typically where you see consolidations start happening, man. You start seeing triangle patterns form, and that's something to be on the lookout for moving forward, guys. I definitely recommend like when you see a huge if you use the volume profile and especially on the macro stuff and you see a huge imbalance or something, that's relatively big, you're going to notice how you kind of ping pong in between these two nodes. And yes, you deviate, but you usually get a retest of the node and you're able to take it off to the other side of the node. All right, story time. I'm going to take my screen off cuz I'm done sharing. Not this one. So, all right, so my school next year we're going to be adopting a track program. Track meaning that we're going to have a culinary track, we're going to have a medical track, all of those different tracks, where you get a certification at the end of it. Well, they had people from corporate come down to the school to film today. So they get to the culinary room because I'm a culinary teacher for you guys that don't know. Um, they get to
Wait,
my room.
what?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Bro, I thought you were like a gym teacher.
Nah. So I was doing chem and algebra 2, and then our culinary teacher, which is one of my really good friends, she's leaving after this year. And they were like, because I cook all the time, they know I cook, and like I've worked in restaurants and stuff like that. So, but um, but yeah. So back to the story, man. Freaking. So we're there. They're filming the track, and mind you, we ended up calling some seniors, people from our culinary 3 class, our higher level, to be a part of the promotion or the little video. But the class that I was in was our last block of the day, which was our 6th graders, so the babies. So they're off doing a word search, all that, and these people are filming us making something, making coconut macaroons. But freaking, they're filming it, and then our principal was in the room with us. So she was kind of walking the guy from corporate, like what to look at, what they want in the shot, yada yada. So then she's like, "Oh, kids, so you guys that are like talking to the 6th graders, you guys that are watching us film, what we're preparing to do is," and because she was saying promo, she said, "We're filming a porno." Me and her made eye contact for like 3 4 seconds, and I just started dying laughing. None of the kids caught it, but me and one of the seniors, we were all just looking up. But yeah, she was like, "Yeah, we're filming a promo for the culinary track last year." Sorry, man, I was dying, bro. I thought that was hilarious.
It's
But
one of those things you had to be there for.
But you don't think that's funny for a principal to tell a bunch of 6th graders, "Hey, we're filming a porno." Like,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm like half deaf right now. I thought you said it was somebody else. It was a principal that said that.
the principal that said that, man. So I
That's
thought,
crazy, dude.
bro,
Can you imagine the kids going home? Mom, what's a
what's up?
porno?
Oh yeah, bro. And no, and then the prince, like at first, because me and her made eye contact, but we really didn't. Like, she comes up to me, she was like, "That was bad," and I look at her, I'm like, "Yeah, that was bad, but you're lucky nobody caught it." I even talked to the co-teacher, the other culinary teacher, the one that's leaving. I was like, "Did you hear what so and so said?" And she's like, "No, I didn't hear." I took her outside. I'm like, "She said this." She's like, "Oh my god." I thought it was hilarious, bro. Sorry, I wasted like 3 minutes of your lives, guys, but I found that funny. Oh no, Thor's here. He's gonna bully me.
He's been waiting to take them stand. So, what do you think, Thor? You got some Hammerly advice? You get it?
Dude,
Hammerly advice?
I don't know why you'd want my advice.
Well, we don't know, so we're looking for signals.
I didn't want to short this up around like 91K, and we still came down 3%. So,
Well, to be fair, I missed the
it's
swing
so
shift.
overextended, man. It's so overextended. But yeah, I mean, to your point, you could have just followed local structure.
Yeah.
I mean, during New York Open, we came back up and we tapped at that local range high at 91.4, literally to the dollar. And I'm like, because you had 90.6 just below you. Also 90.3. I'm like, dude, things were so anchored out. I really didn't want to even bother to take a look at shorts. And he could have just followed local structure all the way down. Here's the thing, dude. Everything is just nothing more than Swiss cheese. I think I heard you guys name like 2 or 3 different levels on the way up if we hypothetically went up. And there lies the problem, man. Like, what do you actually go for other than local structure and follow it down? You know what I mean? Like, are we aiming for 92K? Are we aiming to fill the fair value gaps all the way up around 95K? Are we looking to like come up to 89K and reject from 89K and just continue with local structure? There's so many parts of this where we just come down so fast and it just looks like Swiss cheese to me. I'm just being honest. So Spartan's right. You came right into that high volume node. That is the overall local point of control. Yeah. It's not really the overall point of control of the entirety of the range, but locally it is. Locally it definitely is. And we're finally finding a bounce here, but
Yeah.
dude, I don't know. I mean,
I think we're going to
what do you
consolidate.
got on the 2 hour?
Be nice to. I want a range, just an easy, simple range for a little while. I'm sick of the. I don't like solid.
Yeah, dude.
I don't like the up and down like craziness. You know.
Crackhead price action.
I totally agree. I totally
Yeah.
agree. It's
And
been
again,
total crackhead price
it
action.
has been.
It really has been, man. Like,
Um,
and if you get on the like, you can get chopped up real quick because there's good setups, but like if you just get caught on the wrong side of the crackhead motion, you could be in for a
you're done.
long day. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've seen people spiral, bro. I've seen the best of the best spiral, man. Like just trying to hit like
I'm
crazy.
assuming you guys are talking about that order block that's pretty much at 89.4. And that would I jumped
No,
in
I didn't
like
draw that one in.
halfway through your stream, so
No,
I'm not really sure.
I didn't draw that one in. Like I'm watching it. Yeah, forgot to really mention that one actually. I didn't draw. Okay,
Okay,
no,
well,
I didn't draw that one in, and the reason why I didn't, and maybe it looks better in a different time frame, is because on the lower time frames,
Which one?
it's all lower, high, lower, low. It's like the whole move, right? So I don't know.
yeah, it would just be if you're just going to carry on with the 15-minute structure, that would be
Yeah,
supply.
it would be.
That would be a 30-minute order block. That would be a back test at 89.4. I
Yeah.
would look for a rejection there. If you don't get a rejection from there, at least 89.9 to 90K has been, I mean, a lot of that on the way up has been pretty much mitigated. So if you can start to flip structure, then I think there's some upside to be had. But I totally agree with you guys. It's like I just stopping here just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, man. It just doesn't.
Stopping
Like
where?
why
Sorry?
stopping here, like bouncing from here, it just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It makes more sense to have some reprieve for like another
I'm gonna
dump
move
down.
down. Yeah.
But
I mean, it is a 2-day order block, though. You know,
2-day order
not very
block.
common to look at. Yeah. Look on your 2-day. Oh, I thought you were sharing your screen. You're not sharing your
No, you
screen?
want me to share my screen?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's easier to follow. You want to see the
Damn, now I
you
gotta
want to see the band hammer, TA? Let's go.
now I gotta change up the thumbnail. Damn.
You do. You gotta put them in the background. Come on now.
Although that
There's just so
thumbnail
many things that kind of annoy me about how far we've come down so far, man. Like, not to say that we didn't know it was coming, because we've been talking about sweeping this. Like, if we can't hold somewhere in here, right, then it's likely that we should be pretty worried about sweeping all of this and then coming for all of this as well. So locally, 90 to 85.5 was your overall range over the holiday weekend, Christmas. This is where
Yeah.
we're at. This is what we're tapping into right now. Your little HVN, local point of control. And when I look at it, it kind of makes sense because you had an untapped weekly here. I don't know why we didn't look for it previously, but on the lower time frames, it's like, why stop here? Other than it just being an overall point of control, why? Like, yeah, for reprieve, it's fine. It looks good for like a reprieve. On the daily, you got a daily for a value gap. If you start to like shift 15-minute structure, I don't see why 90 is going to hold, because 90 was actually back tested. So once you dump back down into this range,
Yeah.
you came back up to back test it. So really the only thing that you should be concerned about right now is like 89.4, which is a fill of this gap on the 6-hour time frame. It's also a 30-minute order block.
I like your 92K level.
Yeah. And then if you come up here and you find a rejection, then you continue with this whole 15-minute trend. If you don't find a rejection from here, then it's more than likely you're going to start flipping structure, because everything at 89.9 has pretty much been mitigated. I would say that if you can start to come up like this, where you kind of fill this, or even come up into the supply here. Here, I'll mark it out. Where you get something like this, but you start closing above these highs. Then look for a retracement and then a possible long.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one idea because quite frankly, I don't really see anything in here that's going to hold you back per se. Not until we
Not up
get back
there.
up to like 91.9, 92K. So
Yeah, that's my favorite spot actually. I like that because that would give us a bigger retracement. It could also make it. You could also get like that. Like I don't know if you heard or not, but like it kind of looks like a head and shoulders without the right shoulder, doesn't it?
yeah, man. I mean, it's. I did say that I was going to get pretty concerned if we started falling back within this overall range, and we did. And I was kind of hopeful to maybe see something go here. I was kind of maybe hopeful to see something like swing fail this low and then possibly reclaim 92. It just didn't happen, dude. It didn't happen. And here's the thing, like at the time that we dumped nearly 3% from New York Open,
Yeah.
the oscillator on the 6 hour was just buried, man. It's
It
buried.
was already buried.
I said that there's a possibility that it could come down further, but I wasn't really anticipating this. I'll be honest.
I
I
didn't think it
wasn't
was going to.
anticipating this.
I didn't think so either because, like, me, my fractal. It was. This is playing it way quicker than the fractal, bro. It took us like 10 extra days before we got this far last time. So it's just like,
Yeah.
holy smokes, this is
Here's
kicking
the
over.
thing too, like it didn't necessarily look good per se. I want to say what time frame were we on? I got to find it here. I know that there was like a lot of equal highs or equal lows along the way. We were looking at that. Let me go to a different chart. Yeah, we were looking at this like earlier this morning. We had, look at this, man. Like every time that you kind of like made for a low, sorry, that's the wrong one. Right here. Equal lows right there. You see them?
Yeah.
Equal lows right there. So every time you had a bounce and then you came right back into supply, it was just a rejection and then a follow through on the local range, like the local structure. And then here too. Right here. 3 equal lows. 1, 2. This one barely grabbed liquidity, came back up for local structure, found supply, dumped again. There's just not a whole lot in here. And that's why we continue to sit here every night going, well, hypothetically, this could happen, or hypothetically, that could happen. It's the same way as what's above us, too. This crap, this crap, this crap, this crap. It's just like Swiss cheese, man. At least to the downside here, like so long as you're not tapping in for equal lows, this looks a lot better to sweep. But where do you go? Like the only thing that I really see in here as far as like some particular bottom that kind of makes sense to me is down around 85.7. You got this in here. You could clean this up. If 85.7 doesn't hold, well, then you're coming down for these lows. They look like trash. They have no wicks. Look at the 4 hour. And even then, what's going to stop us from like just tapping here? It's probably not. You're probably going to take that low because it mitigated 84.4. That's an internal. Literally, the only thing that really stands out to the downside right now is sweeping everything from Christmas, coming back to retest 85.7, clean up this gap, and then see what happens from there. But dude, it's really hard for me to say that because quite frankly, I just want to see it all go. I really do. I want to see it all go. Daily structure does look like something. Daily structure kind of looks like this right now. I mean, this is what you have as far as daily structure for this local trend upward. This was not a break, but closing below is definitely a change of character right now. Let's just simplify it.
Yeah, we do
Yeah,
had a break
I mean,
there.
If you don't find anything around 85.7, this is done. This is done. If you don't find anything around 85.7, you break this and you're done. And that's another daily lower high. And this is what your overall structure is going to look like. It's going to look like this. Your low, there's your high to your low, and then you have this local uptrend. This is probably going to be your next lower high on the daily. Especially if you don't find anything in between here and here. And I agree with you, man. Like, how many times do you want to bring back the boat?
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. Like, how many times do you really want to bring back the boat? Because everybody and their mom was able to get in here. Also here. I agree with you, White Phoenix. I think if you actually flip 15-minute structure, then I don't really think that you have to worry about 90K so much as you do 91.9.
Yeah. yeah. Well, the reason why I was a little skeptical with the 15-minute structure continuation, although I do agree that could be the play. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I got sick brain right now. I feel like I'm off Earth. For the record, people, I'm still sick as hell. By the way, it's both my ears now. It's not just one, so it's definitely a viral infection. Not the way what I thought it was, unfortunately. But anywho, the reason why I didn't like that originally, or I didn't pick up on it as much, is because I was thinking, like, because of how aggressive that last 1 hour candle was, the one leading into the daily open, I just figured, like, when you recover so much of a candle like that, you know what I mean? Usually there's so many trap shorts that they might just keep pushing it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I wanted to see that earlier.
We might get it though, man. We might get it because that was a quick 1 hour candle all at once. It's a vector candle. I know you guys don't use vectors, but I like them, and I find they do work very well. But
So this is what gave me a lot of pause this morning because we were so anchored out here.
it was already out, but was it already at that point this morning? Basically,
yeah, it pretty much was. I mean, add 6 hours, add 6, 7, 8 hours. So one tick. Literally, this was just one tick behind this morning.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that does look anchored.
And it was here to here. So yeah, 12 hours. You had 2 ticks on this. In other words, you were right here, and you still came lower.
Yeah, I'm not an indicator guy, but that does look pretty bottomy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Earlier this morning, you had exaggerated bullish divs here.
Yeah.
In other words, you had equal lows on the oscillator.
Yeah.
But again, look at the 4 hour. It's buried. It's totally buried. Yeah. Like, this has to come up for some type of reprieve. I just thought that it was going to come up for some type of reprieve maybe here after retesting 90 and not get shoved all the way down for another 3%.
That's what I was hoping. That's why I kept long and scalping today. And then I kept seeing it like reject. And I was like, oh my goodness gracious. So I had to keep closing the trades. Slight TP. And then I said, screw it, I'm done. I gave up on the last try. Every time I longed the lower lows, I get a little scalp out of it. I mean, a few $100 move, and then it came out.
Just gets shoved right back down.
Well, I never lost money or anything. I made money, but the point is, I gave up on it because I was like, nah. I didn't even catch the last one. I gave up. The last one would have been the better one, actually. I didn't take it. Whatever.
Dude, all I wanted was like a low time frame structural shift right at a key level, and it just, it just didn't happen, man. It just didn't happen. Look at this. Even on the, this is where we're at this morning. Let me get rid of this. This is where we're at this morning. My last post was you essentially mitigated supply. The 45-minute is much cleaner. So you had this order block in here. You came back up. You mitigated supply here. And the last thing that I said was, so long as we can kind of hold above 90.6, we're good. Look what happens. This 30-minute candle closes below 90.6. You get a rejection from 90.6. You head straight down.
Yeah.
This happened this morning during New York Open. Came right back up to look at this, like
That was long from that low. That was one of them I longed. The
1,
low.
2,
Yes, that's
3. I didn't want to do that. Give me that back. But yeah, you had a deviation, then a back test. I really wanted to see it bounce from here, but that happened during New York Open. Couldn't hold it. Came down to like 90.3. Came right back up. Rejected. You actually had like 3 separate times in hindsight. You had 3 separate occasions where you could have got short this morning. But again, like, where are you going? Like, what is in here? You know what I mean? I don't know. I got to cherry pick something. So you had 3 separate occasions you could have got short here, but that's risky because you could have came up to 92. This is what I mean by like the whole Swiss cheese thing. There's holes here. So in hindsight, you could have actually got short here at 90.8 or 91.4, 90.8, and also 90.6. You could have chose any single one of those and made 3%. Yeah, and I chose none of them, to be honest with you. I chose absolutely none of them. This is annoying too because right now you're just tapping into that local point of control, but you're not really tapping into anything. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, and
there's
high volume note too. I think Spartan said.
yeah, right here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Is there a wick
89,
on that thing, or no?
89.9, 90K. I'd say
There's no
that's
wick
the
on it.
first place.
There's no
No,
wick on
well,
your
here's the
channel.
thing too. Like, here's the thing. Despite everything looking like Swiss cheese above, look at the weekly candle too.
Oh shoot! I didn't see that.
Look at that.
There's no wick on that thing.
There's nothing there, dude. There's no wick on the stick. There's no wick on the stick. So you literally came back for that local point of control and untapped
Well,
weekly.
maybe we do get it. I didn't notice that, bro. I'm a big believer in the no wicks on the stick. You know.
Look at the 6-day. Nothing.
Shoot.
Look what happened the last
Why
6-day
didn't
we
you
put
see
in
that?
with no wick. We came down and then put a wick on the stick.
Maybe we get lucky and get a crazy deviation of the high again. I don't know. Something else that's weird to
I
me,
don't
bro.
know,
Is that,
man.
I don't know either, but something that's really standing out to me. It just looks like an awkward dump. Even though it's 3 aggressive bearish candles, it looks funny. I don't know. I can't quite pinpoint. Okay, yeah, it looks way funnier in the daily. It just looks like an
You got
awkward move.
6 days straight here that we've been dumping, man. It's to me that's just like so overextended, dude. It really is. It's so
Really
overextended.
no wick on the stick thing, though. I say that right? No wick on the
Well,
stick?
no wick on the stick. You also have it here on the daily. So you got no wick on the stick here. You got no wick on the stick on the week. What's the week here? 93.6. What's the daily? 93.6. I mean, you got
They
nothing
can.
here, man.
I know Mid said they can be recovered later. I agree, but I find
They can be recovered. They can be recovered a lot later too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. I just find lately they've been pretty quick. Like, listen, like I shorted into one today just for a scalp short, and it was like, um, there was a two was it was two 15-minute candle lows that had nothing on them, and it was in a little range, and I shorted into the damn thing.
Well, let me play devil's advocate because on the monthly you have no wick on the stick. You see that?
Okay, wait, what? Oh yeah, on that side of it, yeah. This might just be a doji candle monthly close, actually.
Could be. Yep. Which would make a lot of sense that you actually have something like this.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, actually, I wouldn't mind that, man. If, like I said, I wouldn't mind. Like I know I'm like, oh yeah, I think we're going to 74K. Yeah, that's because of statistics. Listen, I'm ready to be proved wrong. Okay, I'm ready for this
10-year-old fractal to fail, the time-based fractal. Give it to me. I don't care. Listen, I'm overall hopeful that we see a 200K Bitcoin someday, you know? But
Yeah, me too. I just don't think that's going to happen right now.
I don't think so
I don't
either.
know.
No, I don't think so. But, you know,
I don't know.
I wouldn't mind a little bit. I was
I
kind
mean,
of really.
weekly structure is still intact. But come on, man. Like, how long do you want to sit here and play within this range? Because it's been like, I don't know. Let's measure it out.
Valentine's Day 2026.
We've been playing in this range for over a year, 441 days.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I can't even remember a range that has lasted this long. Can you? Has there
I don't
been
think
any
so.
time in history where we've seen Bitcoin actually range for 441 days? It's not
That
on
one.
the BTC USDT Bybit chart. I can tell you that right
Well,
now.
you could argue like
Unless we're looking at this as an entirety of a
that's what I was
range.
gonna say. Yeah, I kind of yeah.
So let's measure this out.
It was a long ass range.
525 days.
So where would that bring?
525 days.
Yeah, measure over. See where that.
525 days would bring you out to
Oh shit, that's coming up close. What
April
date is that?
April
Oh,
13th.
April Fools. No, I'm kidding.
April Fools.
Yeah, April. April Fools. Told you the short guys. No, just kidding
That's
on the
kind of
long.
interesting,
Kidding
man.
on the long.
I mean, even
Yeah.
back here when we put this range in, it only lasted for, well, 245 days.
So was it actually 525? We did. Now, when you measured that range, though, how'd you measure it? Did you measure from the up or from the top?
I'm
The
just
old one.
taking, oh, from
No,
here.
yeah.
I'm measuring from the candle um that actually created the range. So from here.
Gotcha. Okay.
From the range low over,
Yeah.
you're 441 days
And when you did
right now.
2021 one though, where did you go from again? Back in time
Same
there?
thing. Essentially
Same
from the candle that actually started the that
you went to the
created the new
breakout
range.
candle, right? You went to the
400 and technically speaking, this is 497 days. It's not 500 and some odd. 497.
It's even closer actually. It's friggin' March.
It's even closer. That's March.
Man, I'm telling you, these fractals are crazy, bro. I wouldn't even be surprised if it was dead on. Oh, by the way, do you know what's crazy? Like the move from the 2021 bull run high, if you measure down to the summer of 2021, just measure it, not percentage, dollar figure, from the peak of 21 the first time around, not that one to the left, that one, measure down to the bottom of that leg. Yeah. It's not identical, but it's close. I'll tell you now. Right now, that what's that? 36.
55.6%.
Okay, now go to the top of where we are now. When we first hit like 110K or whatever it was, I call not that one to your left. Yeah, measure down to the bottom.
It's not going to be the same. It's 32%.
Not percentage, but the dollar figure. It was very close. It was off by a few
Oh,
$100.
okay. Yeah, you're about $32,000. You're 36. I'll just round it off to 35,000.
35 in the first one, I thought.
I'm going to round it off to 35,000.
Close though. Close.
You're about the same, man.
It's funny because on the exchange I did
You're
it
about
on,
the
it was
same.
off by $100. But yeah, that's crazy. Different exchange. That's all.
I do feel ripped off, kind of slightly ripped off, man, that we did this
We're gonna have to
and not
request a refund.
actually filled this, because look at even on the monthly time frame, the fill of that would have been 101.
I get
Everything
it,
we were talking about.
but to play devil's advocate on the left there, you didn't fill it either. You know, back to the monthly, 22, top of 69K down. You say you left that fair value gap, big one actually. No, yeah,
Yeah,
right
you
there.
did right here.
Yeah,
Right here.
we came back for it later.
Yep. Yeah. Much later. The next bull run later. And even then you didn't get anything off of that.
Schlong, October 5th,
Shot
2026.
straight through.
Bro, if that actually ends up being the bottom again, I swear to God, I'm throwing a house party with the house cat.
What? What's
That
the
may
bottom?
October 6th, 20 or October 5th, 2026.
We didn't really find a bottom until November.
No, sorry, I'm talking future here. I'm talking future. I said October.
No.
Yeah, so like if you okay, let's just do this then. Look, go from 69K down to the actual bottom. We measured with time, however you do that. Yeah, it should be 364 days down.
1 year, 378 days. If we're going to go from this, it's like 365 days. So exactly 1 year.
Yeah,
which is
so
typical for a bear
where's
market.
the year? Yeah, so we put in the top right now, October 6th, right? I think. Yeah, I think you got off. You messed up the
365
measurement.
days.
Yeah, you didn't just tag the top though.
What do you mean?
Try to.
I did
I
tag
mean,
the top.
no, you're over too much to the right. Yeah, right on
That's
the.
your all-time high right there. 365 days puts
Right
you
there.
roughly
Boom.
October. Yeah, October 5th, 2026.
Schlong day.
And then for
Like,
another 2
finally,
months, you
Schlong
actually
day.
range sideways before you hit January. So January is when we really shot off.
Yeah. That's called build
448
your bag.
days. What is this? That was 448 days to January. This is essentially 385 days. So we're like a month off.
Yeah. So it's gonna be crazy though if it actually ends up being the exact low again. It's like what, 4 times in a row or something like that, or it's always 364 days down. It'd be crazy,
Yeah, just
man.
about
It's
1
another
year.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, let me get rid of
I mean,
this.
obviously, something like that can't continue forever. The more people that find out about it, the more it'll be fronted and everything, just like the halving thing.
Just like the halving thing. Yeah, where we create an all-time high before the halving.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Do something slightly different. It's like fractals, man. The pattern
yeah.
looks eerily the same, but it doesn't play out always the same.
Like this one was way quicker than the 22 one. The dump was anyway. Holy smokes! I didn't even think it was gonna go
Look
that
at
quick.
this. To clean up all of this garbage in here, you'd have to come all the way back up to 94.8 at the very
Bro, I wouldn't
least.
even mind if they came up that high and then put in like a double top, kind of like lower high thing into the friggin' that range you got up there. Man, I'd love that. I really hope we get that. I really do. I'd love to. I know you want higher, but like, I don't care. Either
I
tag,
don't
like,
know,
take
man. I
another
mean,
100 high.
I think my ideas of actually tapping 101 are kind of being dashed as we speak. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't. Again, it's really hard to find something in here that I like and that I really want to point out. It's not to say that we can't find a bounce somewhere in here. It's just that there's nothing here. Like there's nothing that I see here. The only thing that I see is more or less like 85.7 to 85.5, where you can maybe come back and tap at this range low. But 85.1 is cooked. That's your 4-hour, like on the 4-hour time frame, that's your really crappy looking low. Look at this. I don't see a whole lot in here. Can we agree?
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Okay, cool.
Holiday
only thing,
stop losses.
yeah, the only thing I see is like right here.
Yeah, that's actually not bad though. Fill that inefficiency bottom of your range tap and then up. I wouldn't actually mind that because it would take out
This is
the
the only
holiday
thing.
stop.
Yeah, this is the only thing that I see right in here that actually looks good to me. And you have a 2-hour range, you have supply sitting right at that range low.
Yeah.
If that doesn't go, then that's done. This range right here, this little 4-hour range that you actually put back in November, that's cooked.
Yeah.
Like, so what do you really see other than like maybe right here at 85.5 to 85.7, because that's been mitigated. this 4-hour range back here. You dip through, so you had your deviation. There's your back test. There's nothing here. These lows look like trash. The range low has actually been mitigated here. It's like to the dollar taps, man.
Yeah.
It's to the dollar taps. I don't, beyond 85.5 to 85.7, I see absolutely nothing. Look at this. Even at the range low, deviation to the dollar tap, right on the range low. I don't see anything down here, guys. I really don't. So if you bounce
No.
off of this high volume node and you come up to like, I don't know, let's just say 92K, that's the first place I'm going to be looking for a rejection. If you don't just reject here locally from like 89, if you don't reject locally from this little 30-minute order block and just carry on with this whole like downward trend right here. So first place I'd be looking for is 89.4. Second place I'd be looking for is 91.9. I would say somewhere in here. I really don't think that there's any need to talk about anything else unless you start flipping 92K. If you flip 92K, this is just aching. Like, there's so many late shorts in here. It'd be really easy to sweep all of this and then possibly come all the way back up to the range high at like 94 to, again, 94.8, which is that 6-hour order block that's kind of sitting in here. But what's the point of getting ahead of ourselves, right? We haven't even broken local structure.
Oh my god, man, I'm so sick. Ugh. Yeah, you know what though? You know what that I don't know, man. Just kind of like a weird flashback to the day that me and you were talking about. Like this is like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and we were talking about. Geez, I don't even know if you were streaming then, were you? We were talking about that weekly. Remember, there was like a daily
No,
close time, and we were like, it was at like 20K or 30K. Remember that? And you were like, bro, check
I
the
remember
time
it
frame.
because you're like, dude, it's a break of structure, and I'm like, it's gonna back test
Yeah, I
2017's
did.
all-time high.
I will admit, I got ahead of myself there. But then I seen it when you pointed it out. There was a weekly SFP. The reason
Yeah.
why I'm bringing that up is because I mean, what? Hey, go to the weekly right quick. Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't really have weekly structure. What about 3 day or like? Yeah, do we have like upwards 3 day structure? You could argue it, man, or
You
even
could argue
2 day.
that you have, like, locally, you have this.
Yeah, you do.
Is that what you're
Yeah, you
talking
do.
about?
Yeah. But I was
Here's your
thinking
break.
more or less local, even more local, like that. Can go to the 2 day maybe? Because I know the daily broke, right? But the 2 day close as well. Shit. Well, it could still be, yeah, it could still be a false break, right? They happen, man. They happen. I'm not.
You're
I can't.
talking about this being a break, but
Yeah,
technically speaking, it's not a break. Even on the daily, it's not a break.
I'm
Like,
using.
this was your high. So you have this going on.
Yeah. But I'm
I mean, if
talking.
anything, we could
Like,
maybe call this a change of character. Would you agree that this is more or
that is a
less like a
change of
change of
character.
character?
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah,
is. But what I'm saying,
which is what I
and
said
that's
earlier.
what I'm talking about, though. I'm thinking, you know what I mean? Like I've seen those internal change of characters before break structure the way that it has into something significant or to take out liquidity, such as like holiday liquidity, and then it rips straight back up, putting a new higher high in. I've seen it a million times, you know? So I wouldn't be too shocked to see something like that and then 102 down. So, which is why, like, why I always say, like, when you're drawing in a PO3, the 50% of your range is a good target for that PO3 because they can always fail. They don't always come to the range low. They don't always do that. So, maybe, I mean, again, this is probably on the lesser likelihood of things to happen, but I'm going to watch for it, right? I'm still going to play the local scalps and see, if we start breaking up, obviously past that, if we come
Well,
to that weekly.
check this out. If I was to just go off of the daily, and I really don't want to highlight this. I don't want to take this quite yet. Like, I can't take this as a range high unless we start breaking for the lows.
Yeah.
I want to take it. I'll take this, man. I'll take this.
Yeah, it does
It
look
doesn't
pretty big.
matter. It doesn't necessarily matter the range high doesn't matter so much here. It's the range low that matters. Because on the daily, even 2-day, let's go off of the 2-day. The 2-day looks really good here. Okay. 2-day looks even better. Let's clean this up just a tad. We'll just go off of the 2-day here. Let's say 2-day, that's our overall range. Okay. We know that there's no wick on the stick. That puts you right back up at 93.6, 93.8. The low is what's really important here. The low is sitting at 84.7. We just talked about 84.7. 84.7.
Is that the top of the 4-hour range? No.
84.7 falls. It's really close, man. It falls right into the supply or demand that's sitting right here.
85?
84.7, 85.6, 84.7. It sits right there. It sits right there. Let's just confirm real quick. It's deeper.
It is deeper.
84. Yeah. We were looking at like 85.6. We were looking right in here, guys. That was $1,000 off. No, I don't like it, man. I don't like it. Why?
I don't get
Why?
it. Yeah.
I don't get it either.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of the what if scenarios, you know what I mean? Because it's always better to be prepared for those, but I'm having a hard time establishing one that doesn't make sense to come to the lows. And
It doesn't make sense, man.
the only thing the only thing that, I mean, like I said, that the wickless weekly candle though, man, and monthly candle, is it a monthly candle too or weekly? The weekly.
Yeah, dude. It's the monthly on the bottom side doesn't have any wick.
Okay.
I was just playing devil's
have
advocate here because we were looking at the weekly and then I pushed up to the monthly to show you this.
Yeah,
But on the
yeah.
weekly, there's no wick to
Not
the
even
upside.
It makes sense
Interesting.
because usually you retest your yearly open, so that's what this monthly is. That
The
bottom.
6 hour is a pretty good example, right? Like you had no wick,
You came back for it, yeah.
then you got one. You have
Yeah.
no wick.
But don't we also have one on that white candle at the bottom?
Right
Yeah.
here.
Oh yeah, you don't either.
You don't have
Yeah.
one there. Well, you do, but
you have
if
a
I have to
micro
zoom
wick.
in to see it, like
2 millimeter Peter.
Yeah, we'll call that the white phoenix
We don't
candle.
count those.
That
straight
one
up
has
nothing
none.
on
count
that.
those.
That has nothing.
You need to buy a fake ruler to help that one. You know.
Wait, from experience, what did this guy just say?
I don't know.
Range low.
No.
Okay, so if I went off of the 6-day time frame, 86.6, 86.6. Look, yeah, it doesn't fall on anything,
Oh
man.
man.
Oh man, that was good.
Let's just be real, man. Like you're back within this overall range. You start to lose this, you're going to sweep this. I really don't see anything other than maybe like 80, again, what we talked about.
Man.
Essentially like 85.5-ish. Beyond 85.5-ish, I don't see anything below. I mean,
She ain't looking too
if it was me, man, I would just want to see something like this.
Yeah, me too. Get it over with.
And I would be pleasantly surprised if we start to see something like this.
Yeah.
Well, we did hit supply just now on the 1 hour, no?
Do we?
Uh,
I don't know. I haven't been looking, bro. I've been trying to like.
Dude, it's just a series of
that
like
that
semi-equal
range.
lows, man.
We hit that previous range, and freaking, it's pretty much a SR flip right now. So if we were
Yeah,
gonna
you filled it.
reject, this would
Yeah.
be a place to reject from. You know, not saying we
You
are gonna
haven't you
reject
haven't
from.
quite come up. You
You know,
need 89.4, but
It's
it's
gonna go.
within the vicinity of the wick.
no.
Yeah,
What was? What was? Is that your alarm,
my alert went off.
dude? That one. Yikes. That sounds so bad.
That's built into TradingView, bro. Complain to their manager or their HR department.
30-minute does not look all that great. Even with rounds of bullish divs here, the 30-minute looks like hell. I don't know though. I mean, I've seen the 30-minute look like hell, and then we still do this. A 30-minute can look like hell with rounds of bullish divs, and then literally just start to pick up like this right here. See that? Same thing. I just don't know how many times your luck is going to like carry you on. That's where things were like a little iffy with me throughout the entire day. What I mean to say by that is like how many times are we actually just going to come back up, tap into local supply, come down, come back up, tap into local supply, right? Before you finally take the short that just gives out on you? I mean,
No, you short in the bottom, mate. Like especially
yeah.
of the day, you know.
Yeah, bro. I hate to be the.
I don't
Yeah, that
necessarily
wasn't
want
the
to be the
best.
one to short the bottom.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if it goes to 0, then nobody's saying anything. You know.
What's today? What day of the week is it?
Tuesday.
20th, Tuesday.
Oh, we might get a Wednesday reversal.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least for some type of reprieve.
Or this guy
And
comes
Midweek
out.
that's
reverse.
pretty much all I'm looking for is some type of reprieve.
Classic midweek reversal. Hump day reversal.
Yo, Phoenix, are you excited? You might be American now.
They actually post that though.
Yeah, that was on his Truth Social.
He's in.
He's
I'm not going to say where he's at, but you're a little far off, Spartan.
Why he's in Venezuela?
He's not in Alberta.
No, but it's the whole entire Canada that's highlighted.
What?
Oh,
Well, Alberta wants their independence.
you didn't see the picture that
It
I
doesn't seem
posted,
like
did
the
you?
rest of Canada wants their independence.
Oh, I do. If we could have it, but people are brainwashed up here, man.
It's for your safety.
Wouldn't want 94 and 95 be a valid pocket to look for a short. Man, I mean, that's way up there, dude. 94 to 95K is way up there. I see levels in front of us that we really have to contend with before we talk about like 94 or even 95K. Not to say that that can't happen, but there's some things standing in your way.
Oh shoot.
Also on the yearly, naked daily, monthly open, a wick. I mean, I know I'll go out to the 12-month, but there's only so many candles on this chart. I mean, it's not uncommon to see no wick on a yearly. You got one down here. Are we going to sink back down to $16,600 to clean that up?
I hope not.
I don't really think so, man.
I hope not.
I don't really think so.
That would be horrible.
Oh, there's no wick on the yearly stick. Was that yearly or monthly?
Yearly.
It's 12-month, yearly.
Bitcoin's doomed.
Bitcoin's getting a reprieve. It's just a shame it had to come all the way down to like, well, I don't know, 87.8.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I think my other alert's about to go off here.
Your
Hope I
portal
can
alert.
cancel it in time.
I'll repeat what I said, man. If you can start to break structure and start coming up above 90K, you guys have a pretty nice long opportunity to clean this up all the way back up to like 91.9. You don't even have to wait for 90K. Like 90K, you're going to break 15-minute structure, even 30-minute structure before you come up to. No, you're not. No, you got to break 90K.
Man, I can't believe they didn't backtest that open. Like stupid Asia, man. Why do we bother?
Asia gay.
It is okay.
We need to make them into
Couldn't
America
get a guy
too.
long around here. I'm waiting all day for a decent long, and then it happens when I wasn't looking.
We need to make, yeah, we need to change Asia into America also. Take over it.
You start to break 89.4 or even 89.7, you do something like this, you can have a long opportunity right from here, guys. That's what it'd look like. So pretty much like anywhere in here, anywhere. I mean, it doesn't have to hold 92K for you to have like some lower high to form in here. It would be nice to see it kind of do something like that. Exactly what I'm kind of pointing out, because I don't want to see some like 30-minute close below 89, 950, 90K. I don't want to see like possibly a swing fill. You do have a 30-minute order block that's kind of sitting here in here right around 92.
That's where the high, well,
Let me
no, the
turn
high
this off.
volume node's just a little bit underneath that, but I was talking about something
90.
similar like that.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
90. But I don't know how I feel about that, man. Again, start to break structure, start to close above 90K, then I think it's reasonable to assume at this point that we could potentially come all the way back up to 92. We can wipe all this out. Yeah. It's even a 1 hour break, 30-minute, 1 hour break.
V-shaped recovery. Let's do it. All the way back up to 90, whatever.
That's it for me, man.
Cool.
I really don't have anything else to offer.
Yeah, me either.
Awesome, man. Cool. Well, I'll upload this ASAP and I'll post the link in your channel. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the one from last night.
Wait, Phoenix is about to be American. Dude, you'll have a Second Amendment.
I just need my
You'll
taxes.
have your Second Amendment and your First Amendment.
Yeah. You can't have the First Amendment without the Second Amendment. I'm just saying.
Correct.
People don't
I
say
don't know
that.
what any of them are.
Sounded like Quagmire. Giggity.
First Amendment is freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of religion, all those good stuffs. Second Amendment is right to bear arms. So you can't have you can't have freedom of speech without the right to bear arms. It doesn't exist. You know. So
Cool stuff, man. I'm off for the night. I'm gonna grab something to eat. I'm starving.
yeah, man.
Me too, actually.
I got some beef ribs warming up for me right now, man. And the sous vide also, bro. You gotta get a sous vide. You gotta get a sous vide, bro.
I am. I bought a tenderloin, and I cooked it tonight, and it didn't work.
You ruined it.
Ugh, I'm disgusted.
Dude, you want to get on a
Yeah.
FaceTime one of these days?
I
I can
don't know
help you
what I'm
out.
doing wrong, bro. I'm gonna have to call you next time because I'm getting flustered with this nonsense, bro.
It's your
Hey,
pants too
like I
hot,
followed.
bro.
I had it on half this time, like you said. I waited 5 minutes, water sizzle. Okay, I waited 5 minutes before
Might have still been too hot.
I put it in, and it smoked my house out. I had avocado oil. It wasn't cheap stuff, and it still smoked the house out.
You know,
Like I couldn't even like. I was like 2 seconds from every fire detector from going off, bro. Like
yeah. Well, you're gonna get a lot of
you
smoke.
know,
I
I
would
ended
say
up cooking that shit.
I would say maybe lower it a little bit more. How low can you get on that dial where the
How low?
water, yeah, where the water doesn't bounce. You know what I mean? When you drop it on, it's not supposed to be sizzling. That water's
You
supposed to be.
don't want it bouncing?
No, you do want it bouncing, but I'm saying how low can you get that temperature?
Oh, I gotta test
Yeah.
around to find that. You mean?
Yeah, I did that the other night.
Maybe that's
I got a new pan and freaking I ended up bringing my thing down to like almost like the third number, like out of six, so less than half. And the way it's broken up, yeah, I know 3 out of 6 is half, but the way that it's broken up, it's less than half.
Mm.
It's like two and some
Yeah,
change. Yeah, and I was
I'm just
able to
gonna call
see.
you.
Yeah, man, freaking. You want me to send you a video? I can send you a video of me like playing with steak.
Send me videos, bro.
Got you.
Send me listen. Food instructor, instruct me.
I got you, bro. All right, man. Well, I'm ending the
All right,
recording. I'll have this posted ASAP, guys.
all right.
2 hours.